We're here at the Xbox stand at E3 and I'm with Jeremy Hinton, the lead marketer at Xbox Australia. Jeremy, some exciting stuff here at E3 so far. Can you tell me a little bit about why Xbox split their keynote a couple of weeks ago with console and now at E3?
Sure. Well, really it's about simplicity of message and the fact that coming out there's so much to announce that you want to do everything justice. So the idea around the first announce that we had on May 21st was really to unveil the hardware, the platform, to talk about the fact that this is going to be a brand new a class of device. It's an all-in-one device that does not only games but television and entertainment, and really show those television and entertainment experiences as new for our platform. Then we specifically said E3 is a gaming event. We want to turn up to E3 and we want to show a bunch of games and kind of nothing but games. So our second keynote event held just a couple of days ago was really all about why Xbox is the best place to play games.
Did you have any personal favourites, a couple of key highlights to come out of the keynote here at E3?
Yeah, a couple of key favourites of mine. Big fan of, it was the first time I'd seen Titanfall, which is a 360 exclusive coming from Electronic Arts, and the team that originally came up with Call of Duty at Respawn at EA. So that in itself was a extremely exciting title. The fact that it's exclusive to Xbox, the fact that it's taking gaming forward in that it's a single-player story structure but in a completely multiplayer environment. Those types of new experiences that can only be delivered with new technology, I think are really exciting. Another favourite of mine was Forza Motorsport 5. Forza and generally, racing games over-index in Australia. They do very, very well. And Forza has always been very popular. So the fact that this is a real graphics showcase for us, but also showing off the technology within the platform. So our cloud-based artificial intelligence system that literally learns how you play games, so it doesn't need to program AI anymore. You now have real human opponents and how they drive games, drive their cars in the game. Those are a couple of key things. Probably the last one was just we announced a brand new Xbox 360, which was shipping immediately in Australia. Australia, one of 4 countries to actually have that shipping immediately. So it's always exciting when you can do here's a new thing, and by the way, it's shipping to stores right now. It's always satisfying.
Sure. Well, let's just touch on the technology. Xbox One, how is the new platform and the new generation of technology going to help marketers connect better with the consumer?
Yes, there's a couple of really interesting things that I think are enabled via the technology. The first is our focus on the cloud. Well, first and foremost, I'd say that we're trying to be a canvas for content creators. So really providing new ways for consumers to interact with content, and new ways for those content creators to make their content available and directly speak to their consumers. A couple of key examples that I'd say on that. First was Sunset Overdrive that we showed. There, using our cloud-based technology, it effectively enables the content creator to become a DJ, a real-time DJ in terms of content creation. So literally you can see, or the team at Insomniac can see how people are playing the game, the types of things that they're interested in doing. They can bring in real world things. If something happened in the real world that they want to reference or create in the game, they can literally do that in real time. So the game you played today is different to the game you played yesterday. The other thing that I think is phenomenally powerful for advertisers and content creators is what we enable with our new generation Connect. The new technology that we've built into that is just like nothing else in the living room. Literally like nothing else in the living room. The fact that you can have via conversational voice, you can say things like, "Tell me what my friends are watching on television now." All of a sudden you've merged television and content consumption with social networks, and a consistent social network in Xbox Live to show here's what people are doing, here's what they're watching, make it seamless for people to do that together, where you can have a Skype call and watch a TV show at the same time. That social connectivity that is just not possible before. I think the other thing that Connect enables is it knows you. It knows who's in the living room. It knows you. It knows your preferences. It knows the type of content that you like to experience. Right now, we're in a world where content is curated based on the screen, not the individual. So if I set up a smart TV or I set up an Xbox 360, everyone in that house is going to see the same home screen, the same content being offered up. Whereas Kinect, it knows that I'm different to you, and we've got different preferences and we play different pieces of content. It'll also know what you're doing on other devices. So it'll know that I've just been playing a game on my Surface or an iPad, for example, and it will recognize when I walk in front of the Kinect and say Xbox on to turn it on, that this was the last thing I was doing, it just happened to be on another device. Some of the other technology in it that, really is just up to people to figure out how we use it is we've got an expressions-based system in Kinect, so it will know if you're happy or sad. So if you get, particularly excited or happy about content that you're watching, the system will know to contextually offer you up things that make you the happiest, for example, which is phenomenal. There's also a heart rate monitor where it will literally detect your heart rate based on the blood flow of your face. So for e-health, for a lot of applications that are really in their infancy, that physical detection as well as a combination with a heart rate monitor is just, I think, opens up a lot of new areas for the future.
I mean, impressive. You can just see a brand being able to tactically go to market and gauge a reaction from a consumer, and if it doesn't work, we'll change it to something that it does work.
So
really impressive stuff. You've also entered into this phase now where content is king. I mean, that has been mentioned quite a few times, but the announcement that Steven Spielberg is going to be creating Halo TV series, what are your plans for the future with regards to owning and delivering content direct to consumers?
Yeah, it's a really important part of what we do. And you're right, we do feel that content is king, and in particular we're focused on premium entertainment experiences that you can only get on Xbox. And there, we feel that consumers want blockbuster experiences for the biggest television in their house. They want, graphics and audio fidelity and really immersive experiences that, that play best on the big screen. To that end, we want the best games, the biggest blockbusters, the most exclusive content, and the most exclusive or unique ways to play that content to be available only on Xbox. And similarly, we're extending that now. As we announced in our first reveal, we've set up something called Xbox Entertainment Studios. So that's a dedicated studio based in Los Angeles that actually is dedicated to bringing new forms of entertainment to market, particularly things like television content, new forms of interactive television. So at that announced event, we confirmed a partnership with Steven Spielberg to produce a live-action Halo television series that we feel will be, a new form of interactive television when that comes to market. So here, it's a piece of content that's very relevant to the people playing games on our device, but is an experience that you can only get on your Xbox. People are playing more and more games, but they're consuming significantly more, television and movies and more kind of application-based content on our devices as well. So ultimately, people are looking for the best of everything on the big screen.
I've seen and noticed most new publishers or publishers that are coming out with new games really providing this deeper gaming experiences with the second screen. In particular, Project Spark here, and then the Forza. Can you tell us a little bit more about Project Spark? Because the game that is creating the game, I find an interesting concept.
Yeah. So Project Spark has really been a big project internally in that we feel we want to encourage people to go into game development. We think there's a lot of kids that we can provide really valuable learning experiences through fun gameplay. So the idea was, how do we make an experience where creating the game becomes a game, but people are learning how to program along the way. And we feel that in itself, you look at the success of Minecraft, it's a phenomenal success for us in Australia. And that is an experience where they love to create the world, and then they love to play in that world. And so it provides that, the best of those both scenarios. The interesting thing with Project Spark as well is that it's effectively device agnostic. So you can go from, creating on your Xbox One to editing on your tablet to, doing some touch-ups or playing the game on your smartphone. ultimately we're in a world where consumers have multiple screens in their home, and they're using them at different, different scenarios. So the intent that we have with Smart Glass is we want to augment the experience when you're on the big screen. So we want to give you supplemental information. We want to enable that as a controller. So Battlefield showed commander mode, where literally you can have all friends around playing with their controllers, but then you've got a tablet in front of you playing a completely different perspective in the same game using that as a controller. We think there's a lot of innovation to come in that area. But then ultimately we want you to be able to access that content on the go. So if I'm not at home, but I'm out and I'm interested in my latest, where I'm up to on Rise that I've been playing, I can log in, I can check out my friends' videos, I can watch live multiplayer happening in real time. And we think that's a really powerful thing to keep people engaged with that content whilst they're not necessarily in front of the big screen.
Spark also had this component where you would remix and it would become a collaborative process. Where do you see the social aspects within new games like Project Spark going?
Yeah, it's certainly social is at the heart of everything that we've done for Xbox Live for many years now, and we feel it's built in at a system level in terms of having the ability to play together, having the ability to compete. I think one of the major shifts that I'm seeing here at the show is much more content that is merging single player and multiplayer experiences. So where you might be in a single player adventure, but your friends can quickly drop in and out of that same experience, and it's all in the same living, breathing world that you're a part of.
Jeremy, thank you for your time. I'm really excited about what Xbox One holds. So we're going to head downstairs and actually demo a few of these new games. Thank you.